Welcome. I'm so happy my video found you. My name is 10. Raise your hand if you ever had a moment where you had a rejection and it was a redirection. Yeah. So I applied to a certain hospital for a course that I wanted to take. It was going to be like a 12-month course. And I did everything, sent the application fee, did the application, blah blah blah. And I kept trying to follow up, and they tell me that it was like a backlog or something they were saying. I never got into that school. Then, so that's me being rejected from one. Then I found another school because I have a friend that works in a certain position and told me to try this program. And then I signed up for the classes and I had to do internship. So I started calling up a bunch of different hospitals. I'm like, you know, letting them know like I'm interested in their internship, and they told me that me being rejected, that I wouldn't be able to do their internship because I have to be associated with one of their schools, and I wasn't. I already accepted a different school. So this specific hospital I really wanted to get into, I wrote them a letter in their internship section, and or their volunteer section, I think it was, and they told me I was waiting to hear back from them. So a few days passed. I'm waiting, a week, 2 weeks, and I'm like, okay, let me call them up and see what's going on. Then I heard nothing. So I started to plan in my head. I'm writing this letter of how I'm going to tell the school that I'm going to drop out because I can't find a hospital to do my internship. So that Friday morning, I woke up. I was talking to God, like, please help me to find a hospital to do my internship because I really want to do this program. It did not involve math. So I was just like, please, please, please. So that same Friday, I went to work, got a phone call, and it was the hospital I really wanted to get into. And they were like, good morning, such and such. We have accepted your application for your internship. And I was just like, what? You just made my whole day. I was super excited. And that was the start of me being redirected from all the other hospitals that was rejecting my phone calls and me wanting to work with them. And it's been a great journey so far, and I actually love what I do. Then there was, after doing that, I ended up getting the job that I wanted so badly, and some stuff had happened. Things started to shift in a different direction for the company, and I decided I was gonna move on. So I applied for a different job, and I really, really, really wanted this job. And this is a story. It's like a bunch of us that were cool peoples decided to apply somewhere, and everybody got in except me and another person. This is me being rejected again, and me being redirected to what God feels is best for me. And it did work out that way. So everybody got accepted. I didn't. I cried about it because I really, really wanted it. Like, I practically begged to get the position, and that's not God. That's not where God wanted me to be. I'll tell you that. So I emailed, I talked, I did everything to get that job. Didn't work out because that's not where I'm supposed to be. That's another thing. When God is telling you something is not meant for you, please accept it and move on. But my problem was I didn't know how to accept that. So I didn't get into that one. Everybody else did, and I was happy for them. I was sad for me. Months moved on. 8, 9 months later, the same company that I wanted to get into actually hired me, but in a different building, which I was super excited about because the shift that I got, I is way better than the shift that I wanted. And this place that I'm at, it was really meant for me. And I thank the Lord every day that although I thought that other place was the best place for me and He knew it wasn't, He knew this place was for me. Now I have accepted it, and I thank the Lord. And I even apologize to God. Like, why did I think I was meant to go there when I know I wasn't? So, rejection is a redirection. That's number 2. And I love that for me. Thank you, Lord, for always directing me in the right path, even when I think I know what's best for me. God knows better. Another time I was trying to buy a car, and it was a specific car that I wanted, and I wanted everything that I said I wanted in this car. I was just like, I went to look at a car. I was going all over the place trying to find this specific car, but I was willing to say, you know what? As long as it has this, then I'm willing to take that. And, but it wasn't exactly what I wanted. And I prayed about it, and I'm like, everything that I wanted to have. I wanted to have rims. I wanted to have black seats, leather. I wanted everything that I was telling myself in my head and talking to God about it, right? So we went all over the place trying to find this car, and every car I kept seeing, I was just like, But I was willing to say, you know what? As long as it has this, then I'm okay with that. Every time I went to see a car, God was like, this is not it for you. No. I went all over the place trying to find this car. God kept saying no, 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 no. And I was just like over it. Then one day I was just looking on the computer and then I saw the specific car. It had every single thing that I said I wanted. Everything. And I was just like, and it was local too. And I was just like, can we? So I got somebody to go with me and we went to go look at the car and I got the specific car that I wanted. Everything I said on my list that I wanted for this car, got it. So that's another story of all the cars that I was kept rejecting was a redirection. And I got exactly what I wanted. And all it takes is patience. And a lot of times I feel like I know what's best for me, and God is like, no, I'm going to give you exactly what you asked for. You just got to have patience. And that's my thing. I just feel like I should have what I want when I want it. And that's not how it works. And that's why a lot of times rejection is a redirection. Another rejection for a redirection was I met this guy that I had liked so much. And I kept telling him, I said, this is for me. He's for me. I want him to be mine. And yeah, that wasn't meant to be. But, anyways, although we were cool, it got to a point where it's like, let's hang out. And at the day that we're supposed to hang out, he probably wasn't going to show up anyway. But the fact that I picked up my Bible that morning and started to read it, and it went to a chapter that said something about protection, and he didn't show up. So I was just like, wow, rejection being redirected. Because I know I'm not supposed to be hanging out with this person. But that's another story. Rejection being redirected. That was me forcing the issue. I know better. God knows better. God want me to have better. But in my head, I'm like, no, I gotta have this. I gotta have this. It's meant for me. No, it's not. God is like, I got better for you. Why can't you accept that? And so I did. And this is where I'm at right now in my life. Better. Another one is I had a job that I was miserable in for years. And as much as I kept trying to get out of that job, I applied for every position that I didn't even want to get out of that job. And God kept telling me, that's not where you're meant to go. You deserve better. You need to think highly of yourself. You're gonna have better. I'm gonna make sure you get better. Yeah, he did say that. Because, baby, the way I was trying to apply for all these positions that I know I did not want just to get out of that job, and I kept getting rejection after rejection after rejection because that was not meant for me. But in my head, I wanted out so bad. I felt like, just give it to me. And that's when I decided, you know what, I'm going to go back to school, which is when I started in the beginning of this story. That's how I went back to school. And I did the program that I wanted to do and I completed that whole entire thing. I passed the test on my first try. And so me being rejected from all those jobs that I did not want brought me to the job where I'm at today, which I genuinely love. I get up every day happy to go to work. I love my job. So, yeah, this rejection to redirection, I got so much stories to tell you of how much rejection led me to where I'm supposed to be. Because it's crazy how we convince ourselves, like, oh, this is meant for us, this is meant for us, because in our head, that's what we want. But if God said that's not what you're supposed to have or where you're supposed to be, it's not going to happen. I promise you it's not. This is the end of this story. Thank you guys for taking the time out of your day to watch my video. I appreciate you guys for clicking on my channel. And please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, throw a thumbs up, and come back for more. Check out some of my other videos. Thank you guys.